Good evening, everybody. Maganda gabi, wherever you are in the world. I just want to properly introduce myself. My name is To the Moon 671, representing New Kids on the Blockchain. This is my first video, right? Pasensya na. I know it's not professionally designed. I don't have producers or engineers, right, helping me out with these videos and stuff like that. This is just me, taking me and my friends, and then kind of like sharing the knowledge and creating this channel, naming it New Kids on the Blockchain. Hopefully, this is gonna be like a household name in the Filipino community in the future, right? When you say like cryptocurrency, you're like, oh yeah, I remember when I watched that video, the YouTube video about the New Kids in the Blockchain. Very good information. So like, I'm just hoping that, this this eventually becomes like a household name right out there. Definitely representing the Filipino community. I am Filipino, born and raised in Guam. I am a coconut, so if I do try to speak a little bit of Filipino, my nose is bleeding. Okay, so my nose is bleeding. I know, like probably all of your noses is bleeding, but my nose is bleeding too, trying to speak the language. That's just a little about me. I do have some crew members in different parts of the asset class space, right? So I got friends that do stock market trading, calls and puts, or I have friends that do gold and silver investments. I got friends that do real estate investments, right? This channel is not just dedicated to the cryptocurrency space, but definitely it's going to be hardcore like cryptocurrency until like everybody understands the fundamentals moving forward. And then hopefully that you could take maybe a dollar or two out of your paycheck and invest it in something pretty solid, like some solid projects in the crypto space, right? So you never know, right? And before we move forward into this video, kind of like just going over the fundamentals on how to buy cryptocurrencies, is I just want to put things in perspective, right? So when I mean perspective, I mean everybody works. Hopefully, maybe not. Maybe you're retired, but majority works. Okay, so majority of people work, right? You work, you make your money. After you make your money, right, you try to figure out what you got to pay for, right? I gotta pay for this insurance. Oh, I have to pay for my car insurance. I have to pay for my iWatch insurance. I have to pay for my phone insurance. You have a phone bill. You have a gas bill. You have an electric bill, right? All these bills, right? So you pay for all these things as soon as you get your paycheck, right? Hopefully that's what you guys do, right? So you get your paycheck, you're paying your bills, you're paying your insurance, right? So you're just like, okay, cool, I got everything done. And you're looking at what you have left. And you're like, oh, you know what? I want to go to the bar and probably drink a couple of beers, or shoot some pool or go bowling, go to the karaoke lounge or whatever. And then you're left over with whatever you have left, right? After some entertainment, and then you take a portion of that and you put that away to save for a rainy day, right? And then the rest, I don't know, maybe you like to drink Starbucks and you buy a lot of Starbucks, right? But I just want to put in perspective that in this crypto space, there was this coin called Bitcoin, right? I think a lot of people know what Bitcoin is, but about 8 years ago, Bitcoin was purchasable at less than 10 cents. 10 cents. I'm talking about like you can buy one Bitcoin for less than 10 cents. I'm talking about American money here, right? Like, so in pesos, that's probably like 10 pesos or maybe like 12 pesos or something for one Bitcoin. And if you guys don't know how much Bitcoin is right now, I mean, it's like close to $50,000. So imagine investing $1 8 years ago in Bitcoin that was less than 10 cents. And wait 8 years, and that would have kind of put you in a different spot 8 years later, right? So that's just kind of the perspective that I just want to put, out there so everybody can think about why we developed this channel is, provide this information, that we've learned in 2 years. Some of my friends have been in this space for, 4 or 5 years. I have friends right now that are sitting pretty and retired at the age of 35. That's pretty crazy, right? So just kind of like just putting things in perspective. We'll just kind of move forward into the video. And so I'm sorry, guys. Attention. Now I'm trying to click through the slides right now. Okay, so we're going to be talking about types of crypto assets. So there are types of different types of crypto assets, right? I don't want to name them all. It's gonna just gonna confuse a lot of you guys. But then there are a lot of crypto assets out there, and I think it's about like 16,000 types of crypto assets right now, currently in the market. But it really depends on you, right? So like, as you know, for me, I'm a gamer. I like to play video games. I do like real estate. I do like money, right? Like, I need money to pay things, right? So I do invest in like cryptocurrencies that are supporting the financial sector. I'm also investing in cryptocurrencies that support the gaming environment, and I do invest in cryptocurrencies that do support real estate, right? So I mean, to me, those are like kind of like the biggest three asset classes. I do definitely want to get into like gold and silver in the future, but I do have friends that do that. So like, if you have any questions about that, you definitely can leave a comment in the channel so we can like kind of like look over like possible topics that we can talk about in the future. So yeah, so it really it's up to you guys, right? So like whatever type of asset you like, or like what type of hobby. There are cryptocurrencies out there that do support hobbies too as well, like art, music, whatever, right? So like whatever you like. That's the things is like for smart investors, it's like if you have a natural ability based on like your hobbies you've been doing for multi years, and these different type of companies, and you kind of like understand their net worth. You can kind of like just already gauge what type of cryptocurrencies that you may like that support that avenue of your interest, right? So there are a lot of different types of assets, but the biggest ones out there that everybody hears about is Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? So I'm just gonna talk about those two for now. I'm gonna leave the rest for later videos in the channel, but just those two. If you guys don't know what Bitcoin and Ethereum is by now, please look it up. I mean, you have a phone. I hope you do. So just kind of like go on Google and select, oh, Bitcoin's price or Ethereum's price, right? So and you can see like how much they are worth. Like one coin is worth that much, right? So just kind of heads up on that. And moving into the next thing is that we're going to be talking about how to purchase crypto, right? So like people are just like, how do you get that? You can't just go to a convenience store like Kimchi, and then you're just like, hey, I want to put $1 on Bitcoin. Like that, it doesn't work like that, right? You can't go to a bank right now and say, hey, I want to purchase a Bitcoin, right? Like you have to go through these crypto exchanges to register, and then purchase your asset, what type of crypto that you want to purchase, depending on if they have it available for that certain exchange. So one of the major exchanges right now in the world, it's kind of like a household name in the crypto community, is called Coinbase, right? So Coinbase is an American company. It's based out of America. And it's pretty solid. I've been using Coinbase for 2 years now. You can buy a lot of different types of cryptocurrencies in there, and mostly all of it, I would say like 90% of the cryptocurrencies in there are Ethereum based crypto. So it's kind of like little seeds off the Ethereum token. So a lot of those tokens in there are like mostly supporting the Ethereum network. But you could also find some other cryptocurrencies in there that have their own networks, but you might have to register to other exchanges to purchase the cryptocurrencies that Coinbase does not have available for you to purchase. So you have Coinbase, right? Pretty easy, like you just Google it, go to Coinbase, just make sure you click on the correct link, you go in the link, and then you can register in there, right? So the register is pretty simple. I'm gonna leave a link on the page or the channel just so you guys can just click on it, get to the page, and then you can just go in there and register. And then the cool thing about that, if you register, I get a little piece of the Bitcoin and you get a little piece of Bitcoin. So automatically you get like a cryptocurrency just because you registered into the Coinbase network, right? So Coinbase, there's a lot of functionalities. I know we talked about some types of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. But then you're going to go over a whole bunch of other different ones in there. And the cool thing about Coinbase too is that it has like an educational feature. So you can go in and learn different types of cryptocurrencies in there, and they'll pay you for learning. So, I mean, where do you get paid learning something, right? So you can go in there, learn about some stuff, and they pay you in cryptocurrencies. It might not be a lot, but remember, the story I said earlier about Bitcoin being like 10 cents. Yeah, they might give you 10 cents of something, or 50 cents or something, right? But you never know, right? That 50 cents of something might be, $50,000 8 years from now. So just kind of just like see that in that kind of light, okay? Don't see the price like how you see it in face value, but kind of like see the price in the future. Another cool feature about the Coinbase is that you can go in there and you can trade, you can buy, you can also set up a Coinbase card, a Visa card, right? So like for some of you guys, you won't be able to get a card, right? If you're living in Hawaii or living in Guam. One of my buddies in Guam researched it, and he was like pretty upset that like why can't Guam get a visa? Why can't Hawaii get a visa? But if you live in America and you're watching this video, um, you can get it. You can get it. You can register for it, and you can get it here in America. So, pretty cool feature because like some of the profits, like instead of like removing it out of Coinbase and then moving, doing a transaction from a cryptocurrency into fiat and then moving the fiat from the exchange to your bank, right? There's just too much movements for that. So what you can do is just basically charge your Visa card based on a cryptocurrency, and then spend your cryptocurrency at a store, right? Like whatever store accepts Visa, So just kind of like just heads up on that. So that's what Coinbase provides. And also too, Coinbase has Coinbase Pro, which is like designed for traders, right? So we'll talk about that later, especially if you're not too versatile in like, trading and looking at charts and stuff like that. So we are gonna have other videos in the future that will go over chart reading and kind of like, having an understanding of like, okay, this is when I sell something, and this is where I take some profits, and this is where I buy back in, right, kind of thing, right? So, but you need to kind of like understand when to do those types of functions, right? So that you can make some steady gains over time while you're waiting for that asset to mature. So we'll be going over some of those videos in the future. Another exchange that I wanted to talk about, which I use, is called Uphold. Another U.S. based company, pretty solid. It does anything to anything. So you can actually, convert cryptocurrencies into fiat currencies, like, different country fiat currencies. Like you can convert cryptocurrencies into pesos. You can convert to cryptocurrencies into Japanese yen, right? So Uphold has that feature where you can convert cryptocurrencies into fiat assets and then transfer it to your loved ones, right? And additionally, too, you can also take cryptocurrencies and invest it into stocks. But then for that, you have to be a registered stock investor to actually go in and use that function in Uphold. So definitely pretty solid platform. Yeah, so we talked about like the automated trading. It also has a debit card too as well. So Uphold is a Mastercard version, and Coinbase has a Visa version. So just kind of heads up on that. So if you're a Mastercard fan, right, Uphold might be a good platform for you. If you're a Visa fan, Coinbase might be a good option for you, if you are a fan of Visa. A multi-asset platform like we talked about earlier, with you can convert it to different fiats. You can convert it into precious metals in there. You can convert it to stocks, and anything to anything. Just here's like some stats in regards to the differences between Coinbase and Uphold and the other exchanges out there, that do sell not that that do sell cryptocurrencies, right? Or that are available for trading. So I just want to make sure you guys understand that like there are platforms out there that do offer cryptocurrencies like Robinhood, but I just want to make sure that everybody understands that like purchasing cryptocurrencies at an official cryptocurrency exchange versus Robinhood is that you can move your cryptocurrencies out and move it to different places. In Robinhood, you can't do that, right? So just kind of just heads up on that. Yeah, so Uphold, these are the partnerships, and like the news. They been on the news on Yahoo Finance, Nasdaq, right? CNET, CoinDesk. So pretty popular here in America. A lot of people know about it. So just kind of heads up, and I just want to make sure you guys knew that, like, it's not just Coinbase out there. That's in America. We have Uphold too as well. Another exchange is KuCoin. A lot of pretty underground cryptocurrencies do pop out of KuCoin a lot. We'll talk about different strategies in the future in regards how to manage on when to purchase, cryptocurrencies, because the best advantage is always trying to purchase these things super early, right? You want to purchase these cryptocurrencies when like they come out, right? So like if you believe in a cryptocurrency, you believe in its use case, and you hear like, hey, there's this new one coming out, right? Like, we're waiting for like the next Jordans that come out. So everybody goes online, registers, and hopefully they get picked, saying like, oh, your email got picked, and then you can come and pick up a pair of these new Jordans, right? So same thing, right? So like, you know, different projects will let you guys know like, hey, we got this cool project coming out, our launch date is blah blah blah, and you start preparing for that launch date, right? You take a little bit of your money, and then you're like waiting for that launch date. You might have to register, just make sure that like you're entitled on a white paper so you can participate at a early buy, and you buy it at the ground level, right? So if you can buy a cryptocurrency that can be 2 pennies and then 1 year later be $10, right? So you want to buy it at the bottom, okay? That's just smart investing. So KuCoin's one of those exchanges. Don't want to really go over that. It's kind of complex, that especially if it's going to be like your first exchange you want to jump into, because they have a lot of advanced features. So Coinbase, Uphold, their application is very user friendly. Definitely, you guys can easily navigate through that. But like KuCoin, Bitrue, yeah, those exchanges are very complex. We'll go over some of that later on down the channel videos. So if you do want to learn about like, hey, how do I use this, or how do I use that, right? So you could just leave a comment, and then I'll take the information. I'll go over with my buddies, and then we're kind of like just trying to like find a time to make the content, right? Just so we can support your guys' needs too as well. Another exchange, right, for the Philippines, right, is called Coins PH, a wallet for the Philippines. So, yeah, Philippine exchange, and it has a wallet. You can go in there, right? Go in the site, check it out. It's pretty cool, right? Google has the app. Apple has the app, so you guys can download it, navigate through it, and see how it functions. But then that's a lot. That's how the Filipinos in the Philippines they buy cryptocurrencies through Coins PH. And these are just like the other functions that Coin PH can do, right? So, pay bills, buy, load things, right? So I know like people like to load their phones, right? You have to load your phones with the minutes. So yeah, so like it's another application that you can download on your phone, and then you can manage your cryptocurrency portfolio from Coins PH. And yeah, so like 10 million Filipinos trust Coin PH, and if you go on their site, you'll see like testimonies from different Filipinos talking about like how effective Coins PH application is, right? So when you guys apply for these exchanges, they're gonna ask you information, right? They're gonna ask you like certain information that you might feel like, oh, this is private information, right? But it's the same thing. Like if you wanted to invest in stocks, you would provide your private information to a broker application, a broker institution, so they know exactly who you are, right? So they know like where the money's coming from and where the money is going. So same thing with cryptocurrencies, is that when you go through these exchanges, especially the U.S. exchanges, their security is pretty tight. They're going to be asking you a lot of questions. They might be asking you like, how much money you make a year, your social security number, for tax purposes, and so on and so forth. So yeah, but I know it's gonna feel like that's a lot of information to be providing, but then that's how they KYC you, right? KYC means know your client. So cryptocurrencies, they definitely want to tighten it up. The laundering, right? So like there's money laundering, so they want to tighten up that process, and the only way they can tighten up the process is if they know where the money's coming from, and where the money's going. So just kind of heads up on that too, okay? Um, and when you guys do register in the exchanges, make sure you guys do the two authentication process using your phone, and putting your password. So you'll get a code, then you'll use your password, and your like your email or whatever to log in, right? So just want to keep your account safe, and make sure that your account is unhackable. Okay. Also, too, down the videos, we're going to be talking about different wallets, how do you store your crypto safely. So right now, like Uphold and Coinbase is the safest bet. Like you'll they have insurance. So like if you do lose your money in Coinbase, they are insured. They will pay you back, right? And same thing with Uphold. They will reimburse you if their network gets hacked. But they've been solid so far. I haven't heard anything on the news or any information in regards to like them ever being hacked. So just kind of heads up on that, and do your research. Do your research, right? So like I said earlier in the video, if you like gaming, there's a lot of gaming currencies out there. If you like real estate, there are real estate currencies out there. If you like financial institution currencies, and kind of understanding what kind of financial technology that they're developing right now to streamline the processes of how we receive money and how we send money around the world, that's happening right now, and they're using these different types of cryptocurrencies to support that fintech infrastructure. So we're going to provide some information in regards to sound fundamental cryptocurrencies that are out there in later on videos, right? So I don't want to get into like, oh my gosh, this guy's a maxi, right? Maxi means this guy only supports this type of crypto, or this specific crypto, right? I don't want to be like having the channel to be like, oh, we're only talking about this one certain crypto. There's multiple cryptos out there that have solid fundamentals, that have solid projects and solid companies backing them up. And we're going to be talking about all of them out there, right? So we're going to be trying to talk about all of them that we know or can foresee they're going to be surviving the next 10 to 20 years, okay? So that's it. That's a wrap. This is my first video. If you guys have any questions, concerns, hit me up. Put a comment down. Push that like, hit that subscribe. Pass this information around to your loved ones, your friends, your families. Future content will be coming out. And we're gonna try to make this as fun as possible, and also we're gonna have some raffles too as well, right? So I'm gonna teach you guys how to create your wallets, and then there's gonna be some giveaways. Maybe there's gonna be like some trivia days where I'm gonna have some questions out there to test your knowledge if you guys have been doing your research. And then if you win, you might get like $50 worth of something, right? Bitcoin, or Ethereum, whatever the case may be. So yes, just a heads up, that's kind of like my future plans with this too as well. And this channel will also evolve, right? We're not just gonna be talking about cryptocurrencies. Definitely we're gonna evolve and talk about the stock market. We're gonna definitely evolve. We're gonna talk about real estate, and then moving forward, we're gonna talk about precious metals, gold and silver, right? And at the end of the day, we're also like, my goal too is eventually start up a business. And I do have buddies right now that do have businesses, and they are successful. They're making a headway in future generational wealth, right? So I'm gonna have we're gonna have a topic of that in the future, where we're gonna have people in here, and we're gonna give you the strategies on how to take yourselves and be a business owner, right? And that's gonna be like the ultimate achievement in life. Is like, now you have your own business. Like, you have your own business, you have people that you are taking care of, right? You're providing to the economy of whatever nation you're from. It's a big deal, right? So just kind of heads up, and I hope that you guys liked it. I know this is my first one, pasensya na. Sorry if it's annoying or whatever, but just if it does sound annoying or whatever case may be, just put a comment down. Like, I got tough skin, but I was in the Navy for 21 years, so I got tough skin. Okay, so I can take these comments. I appreciate it all for listening, and I don't have a outro type of script or anything like that, but like, hey, it was fun, man. Peace out. Love you guys. God bless you guys all, and have a happy new year. All right, peace out, guys. Later.